Hello everyone, this is Saida and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, then please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon. Today I am going to explain stanza 6 from The Lady of Shalott, lines 46 to 54. So let's get started. And moving through a mirror clear that hangs before her all the year, shadows of the world appear. The poet tells us that Lady Charlotte is not able to look directly at the world out of her window. She observes it through a mirror. The images she sees are described as shadows. It is an allusion to Plato's allegory of the cave. Plato describes a group of people in a cave who only know the world outside by reading the shadows flickering on the wall. And these people mistake images of reality for actual reality which they cannot see. So Tennyson alludes to Plato's cave to suggest that the Lady of Shalott is similarly blind to the outside world. Our next lines are, there she sees the highway near winding down to Camelot. In this mirror, she sees the nearby road winding towards Camelot. Symbolically, Camelot represents the outside world and freedom. Camelot takes on an unattainable quality since it can be seen and sought after, but not touched or truly experienced. There the river eddy whirls. In this line, the poet tells us that Lady Charlotte also sees the rapid circular motion of water in the river. The river is a repeated visual image in the poem that carries a symbolic meaning. Literally, the river is a physical presence surrounding the island of Charlotte. It flows on all sides of her, transporting other people to Camelot. It is constantly associated with movement. In contrast, the lady herself remains stagnant, embowered within the grey walls of her tower. Symbolically, the river is connected with the flow of life and the passage of time, the realities from which Lady of Shalott is sheltered. And there the surly villagers and the red cloaks of market girls pass onward from Shalott. The poet further tells about the various kinds of people that the Lady of Shalott can make out in her mirror of shadows. Some of these people are depicted as impolite and rude, most probably describing the peasants. Others are described to be girls from the market who are passing by Charlotte wearing red cloaks. Here, our stanza comes to an end. Now, I would like to talk about some literary devices and techniques used here. First, we will talk about the rhyme scheme. If we read the whole stanza carefully, we will come to know that the rhyme scheme is A, B, C, and B. Now, if we talk about the rhymes, then the rhymes in this stanza are mostly perfect rhymes, where the end sounds of the rhyming words are identical. For example, clear here, appear near, and worlds, churls, and girls. Next comes the ending words. Tennyson has ended these lines on nouns, verbs, or adjectives rather than prepositions or other parts of speech that imply phrasal continuity. The self contained nature of each line ensures that there is a natural pause at the end of each phrase, highlighting the rhymes and increasing the musicality. Last but not least are the refrains used here. Camillo at the end of the fifth line of each stanza and Charlotte at the end of the ninth line. Camillo and Charlotte are contrasting symbols, with Charlotte representing the lady's isolation and Camillo representing the broader society. In a nutshell, the poet tells about the shadows of things and people that the Lady Charlotte sees in her mirror throughout the whole year. She can see these images in her mirror but cannot touch or truly experience anything in reality, as she is embowered within the grey walls of her tower. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video or learned anything, then please subscribe to my channel and press the bell icon. See you in my next video. Bye bye.